Hey everybody, morning. What's going on? Infinity, Valerie, Donald, John, Larry, George, Robert, Arturo. Welcome everybody. Rex, Dave, Sergio, Laura, Mary, Carlene, Marianne, Ronimer. Good to see you as always. Aaron, JB, Ray, Maurizio. Welcome, welcome. So, hey everybody, how's it going? Jobs report came in a little bit spicy. A little bit spicy here. Came in hot, adding lots of more jobs, I guess. Thank you, immigrants, maybe. Came in hot. Expecting 207. Got, I mean, look, are these even reality? I mean, look at how much we're beaten by like 100% almost. I mean, whatever, or 50%, I guess. This is just ridiculous, ridiculous numbers. I mean, what? It's like whose line is it anyway, right? Like the numbers are all made up. The points don't matter. I mean, let's just keep putting lipstick on it. It's okay. It's okay, right? Doesn't matter. Anyway, I think they'll revise that down again, just like they did before. Unemployment rate ticking down. That's good, right? Running hot. No reason to cut rates. This is counter to the narrative here. Although we were expecting higher, we got a little tick lower, and I don't know. See what happens here. I think this is counter rate cut narrative right here. This is the economy running hot. You can't have it both ways. You can't get cuts and run the economy hot. It doesn't work that way. You run the economy hot, prices go up, inflation. You run, I mean, anybody that thinks we're sitting here in a capitalist free market, you're deluding yourself. I mean, the puppet masters and the corporations control the puppet masters and get what they want, and it's just like there's no free market to this at all. And so they bake the numbers and then cause the inflation, and then I mean it's just such craziness. Corporatism is more the form of government we have, where the corporations and people with money can influence the decisions and the laws that get passed and made, and the rules. It's not capitalism, not free markets capitalism, as the official definition would be. So, I mean, they just keep baking the numbers, which entirely what I expected. Just all manufactured right here. Anyway, moving on. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation tended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining, not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument, as in no stocks, no options, no bonds, no forex, no futures, no cryptos, no treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. Ran out of breath there. And don't buy stuff from people like me. Don't buy stuff from gurus, financial people that are telling you like buy, 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 or financial influencers, whatever on YouTube. Don't buy people. Don't follow people if you don't trust them. I mean, you may like what they say, but make sure you're not just watching for entertainment. And if you're gonna be like, man, that person's really talking about all the good things about this stock. Well, what did they not talk about? I try to cover the good and the bad, or at least as far as stock charts and technical patterns go. I don't usually dive into the fundamental analysis because 99% of the time for trading, I'm a trader. For trading, fundamental analysis doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're investing for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, sure, fundamental analysis matters. But quarter to quarter, the little fluctuations that occur in earnings, it doesn't really matter unless, there's certain events that occur that, like, the CEO gets caught with a car full of money and, all the company's Bitcoin on a thumb drive and, going to jail for drunk driving. I mean, that can make a difference. That's the direction of the company, especially if it's like the visionary of the company. But for most day to day, they bake the numbers just like the government does. I mean, it's corporatism, baby. And if you desire personal financial advice on trades, please hire a consultant. Financial advisor has fiduciary duty, but make sure you trust them too, because nobody's watching out for your money but you. Number one, right? Number one's watching out for number one. Not anybody else cares about your money more than you will. If you think that's the way it works, I hang around a little bit. Yeah. So, CNN Fear and Greed Index after the drop yesterday, we got a little bit of fear, but not a lot of bit of fear. And this is Purple Monster, man. It's not Bud Light. What are you talking about? Bud Light. That's Grape Monster. That's purple. It's bright purple. Anyway, adjust the color on your screen. So we got a little bit of fear yesterday. Not a lot of bit of fear. I do suspect this move is probably finito or close to finito on ES. Got a little spike down this morning, a little bit of volatility, but pretty much wrapping up here. Now, it looked like we were going higher, but as usual, 30% of that time we pushed the limit here. That's what we did. Look at this. Right down here, and when you look at the intermediate move, this is what I didn't see this till yesterday afternoon after this started. I was like, well, this move up right there, that move right there, we topped out exactly right at where it makes a 50-50 flip, kind of did a double top and rolled. That's a C wave in a bigger ABC correction. Likely to wrap up somewhere down here if it's not wrapped up already. It looks like a wave 4. We may push a lower low. Wave 5. I think SPX could use that little tick just a little lower before we reverse. So watch for a reversal. If we tag this area right here, could be a strong one. Right there. So what am I talking about? ABC reversal. It's Elliott wave garbly gook is the pattern. Looking for right here. This ABC thing. ABC. Right down in here. Right like that. This proportionally stretched the limits on the upside. Didn't get above that 786. And it went right into, like, I didn't see the proportion between this little zigzag right there until afterward. That kind of fooled me just slightly. That's the trick here. That's why I don't always get it right. I mean, welcome to the... Now, we could reverse here and go up very strongly to a new high. We could be up there in a couple days. I mean, that's very cautious here. And you'd have to pull this down like this to whatever low we make. I think we may go just a little lower. And push this even higher up to like 53.75. That's ES numbers. That's S&P 500 futures, if you're unfamiliar. And that's what we got. That's the long and the short of it. So the confirmation zone right now, probably 52.40. Why 52.40? Because that was the low right over here. We start getting above that, highly likely we're going on up here. And why not wait for the 618? Oh, that's the confirmation. Well, all right. So we're working on the bottom here, and highly likely that this is all just a corrective move. Hasn't been very impulsive so far. It can develop into something more bigger, more bigger on the downside, but right now we're probably going to wrap this up and go higher again. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And yeah, pull up the morning monster list. In Q, I was warning it was looking something was up in here. I was kind of like, it's looking a little more bearish here. We went right back to these lows. May flush one more time down. This may tag out down here. Could go a little further. So we got cooking right now. But see how this, I hate these patterns. Not much I hate in life. These patterns. See how that choppy overlap where every low and every high kind of overlap before? Usually it's going squeezing, but this one's expanding. It makes it incredibly difficult to predict where price is going when things do that. Not my favorite at all. So probably get one more flush out of here. Flush this out. That's a corrective pattern, not an impulsive. So it's probably not set up to go to the downside at this point. And we'll see where we get to on this wrap up here. Probably finish this up. Maybe not today. Maybe take in Monday. We'll see. There is the rule: if we make a lower low today, probably not going to be the lowest low. We don't typically make a lowest low of a week on a Friday. Usually we continue that into Monday or Tuesday. So this comes into play. Like Rongamer and Beth and all the people that have focused on this in the past, this is the time where this would come into play. If we make a lower low today, we'll probably carry this into next week. All right. Just throwing that out there. So today may be lackluster unless we get a big spike in reverse. We get a big spike in reverse and we blast on up and get above that S&P 500 number I was saying there a minute ago, back above that 5240. That kind of confirms that we're done with this. Now, at this point, we have not made a lower low today. We could, but we have not. All right. So this could be off of that low right there from late in the night. Right there, we spiked down, forming a potential reversal. Is the overnight action. That looks like it could be a 5 up, but in a retrace, and we could get out of here, but it's definitely not clear at the moment. See this initial move up and a retrace again, even diving down into the smaller time frames here. Jobs report spike down, pop up, retrace to a 618. So jumping down into the 1 minute chart, the small time frames here. There's potential for this to form a reversal here. There's a spike down, move up, retrace. We hold this, go higher. So you got to watch these small time frames here. This is indicating that we may have made a bottom yesterday. So completely valid to have made a bottom on a Thursday. That lower low thing doesn't come into play. So definitely pivotal today, whether we go higher or lower, and that number to kind of confirm all the way up there at 5240. All right. Any questions on that? Anybody? I don't think I've ever drank a Natty Light, Wrongamer. Natty Light, Natty Ice, Natty nothing. Anyway, even when I was a poor kid, I don't think I ever drank one. May I drank a Keystone. I don't know. I don't remember. That's too long ago. Bad decisions. Anyway, yeah, that's S&P. Nasdaq's kind of the same boat. Could go lower, but could be a bottom. Steel Reserve. I don't think I've ever had one of those either. I don't ever plan on it. One of the beers, Kimberly, absolutely, like she was fascinated with it when we were younger, and she loved. I guess I can't remember. It had funny sayings in the cap, and a few years back we got one. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this is the most horrible stuff ever." And I was like, "Yeah, we're not drinking that ever again." That was pretty funny. Dun, 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 dun. Russell. Now look at this. This looks like an impulsive situation here. See this move down? And that's impulsive on the 1 minute. To jump up and see what we've got set up here. Yeah, that was a impulsive flush out. Now Russell here, my my lower low thing doesn't apply to Russell. It was the S&P is where that applies. It doesn't apply to NASDAQ. Doesn't apply to. It applies to the S&P, the market. Like when I say the market, I'm talking about S&P 500, 99% of the time. Now this last move definitely looks impulsive, and I'm not sure on this move. This could be impulsive, like impulsive, corrective. That made a lower low. So impulsive, maybe corrective, impulsive. This one is one we need to keep an eye on. Definitely need to keep an eye on here. We start getting below this down here. The canary in the coal mine situation. Dun, 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 dun. Zoomer up, buttercup. So we've got these. And this channel. Channels are the least reliable of technical analysis. Just throwing it out there. But we've been riding this channel. When we start getting below the channel, we're probably going on down to this support. And that, that, funny enough, where the roadmap line has come up to on the daily, just happens to be where the low was back here. We may go test that. And if we don't hold that, we'll probably test this low. And if we don't hold that, we'll probably go on an extension lower. And this could turn into something very sour. Now, we'll probably get an initial move down. We'll probably get a multi-day or week rally before we actually break on down, if we're going to change the tide here. So this is something to watch out for. This could be the high on Russell for the foreseeable future. Let's clean this up at this point. That was the 618 of the bigger correction that we did all the way back here. We topped out in November 21 to the bottom down here in June 22. Actually, the bottom down here in October 23. So think about it. Russell has been lackluster and only came up to the 618. It has not been out. It has not been setting new highs like NASDAQ and S&P. It's been still in a corrective gobbledygook here, holding the 618 of the whole drop so far. This can lead to a bigger down. This right here can echo right off of here, and we can see a bigger down. And we could see an extension even. So that's where this whole thing comes into play right here. This move down. Gosh darn it, man. That high. This lowest low. Off of that right there. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Sometimes got too many indicators. That point, that point, that point. That can lead us right down here, 1400, possibly down here at 1300. If we do the standard extension. Not awesome, all right? Not awesome for continued bullishness. So we could see this drop on down. Now we could inch on up higher. We could go test the 786. Entirely possible. But it all starts with that trend line. If we start breaking down, it's the initial indication. It's like everybody wants to know, how do you know when something's going south on you? You watch these little things, all right? Sometimes you miss them. Like I got a little optimistic on ES going higher. And we hit the resistance that I wasn't watching and turned down. The thing I didn't pay attention to. So this is what I do all day long, is sit here and go, how could I be wrong? And yesterday I was caught up in doing webinars and wasn't focused on the charts, and then you miss something. That's kind of the fallacy of what I do, trying to help more people. Sometimes when I'm not sitting there looking at the chart, a surprise happens. So anybody that got caught with that one yesterday, I apologize, but we're still bullish at this point. Just going to take a little longer to do the bullish thing. And here we go, opening up 6 minutes ago. Let's go look at what we got cooking here. And look, that's pretty spicy. I like it. All right. Oil. Look at that, baby. Big spike yesterday. And some people claim that the spike in oil was why the S&P was dropping yesterday. I don't know. UAE warned Israel about something or other, and blah blah blah. And right as that news broke, the S&P broke and oil spiked, and we're just hitting targets here. And if we push on through, we get on through here, which we're pushing on through, we're probably coming on up to 90, and we're going to confirm a bullish, bigger trend. I've been warning about this. 90 is the next upside here. Now, Brent already hit 90. So CL is lagging Brent. Brent is leading this charge higher. This is European oil, or oil for London delivery or something like that. This is confirmed it's going higher already. Likely to come on up here to 100. So CL lagging, opportunity right here, opportunity. 104 right up here, big resistance. I would shoot for 100. Give yourself plenty of time though. This is probably going to take a while, but we're likely to hit 100 this year. 100, we'll hit 100. And then gold found resistance at that 2300. Man, it had a reaction. I don't know if anybody was watching the smaller time frames yesterday. Look at that. Look at this. We got some volatility in gold yesterday afternoon. I mean, it came up, it ramped and popped on that news while the market was being crazy, and then it plummeted. Then it kind of came up, hit the 5-minute roadmap line, then it took a bigger dive overnight here. Now it's recovering. We're probably going to come up and retest that. And we spiked that just marginal higher high right there. And rejected hard. But that was a 3-wave. That's a corrective move. We're probably going higher. How much higher? Run the fib lines. Next upside, and we're already confirming 23.35 right up there. That'd be the next upside move. That's for GC. That's gold futures. And dun, 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 dun. There you go. You tell me, are they oil shippers? I don't know everything about everything. I just know a lot of price charts. ZIM's not a chart I watch. Bitcoin. Getting a retrace overnight. Not my favoriteest thing to watch, but still hanging in there. I would like this to speed it up here. We moved up, retraced. That's what we get. Nested bullish moves. We had this move up yesterday, retrace, hold the 618. We launch off, like when, we just keep nesting these up. Like this one was a 618, this one's a 618, this one's a 618. Just keep nesting these up. Usually that leads to a large outsized pop. But we have the halving event coming up. Talked about this ad nauseum. Oops, wrong tab. 2,100 blocks to go, 14 days. Roughly puts us April 19th. Coming up. It's going to happen. It's happening, sweetheart. We'll see what happens. Now, usually the halving event is not immediately bullish. We usually have a lag of about 220, 240 days after halving before we go full crazy bullish. And then it lasts like another 12 months or so. Now, what we don't usually do is make a highest high in front of halving, which changes the game a little bit this time. So are we going to do the same pattern, or are we going to do something a little new and different? I mean, they're never exactly the same. You know, it's just we collectively as Bitcoiners kind of, wow, look, not very many transactions. If you needed to make a Bitcoin transaction right now, it's pretty inexpensive. Wow. Not a lot of competition for Bitcoin transactions at the moment. This is mempool.space. This one is bitcoinhalving.com. And if you need a little more information about crypto, one of my favorite places is coinmarketcap.com. Right here. You can dive in. 2.4 million cryptos out there. If you ever feel like that, well, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I don't even keep track of, I don't know, probably not even a tenth of a percent, a 0.1, 0.001, something. And 737 exchanges. And a lot of people are like, well, what one exchange can I go to and trade all of crypto? Well, here's the deal. Click on the exchange list. You look at it, there's only 400 coins supported on the number one exchange. There's only 242 on Coinbase. Bybit has 587. Any of those numbers even close to 2.4 million? No, not even close. I mean, Gate.io right here, 236. But still, we're way far away. Way far away. There is nowhere you can go. This is why crypto is weird for a lot of people, is that there is no one place you can go and trade all the cryptos. Period. It's a difficult concept for a lot of people. That's why, and second thing to think about, there's no backup protection against getting hacked or getting your crypto stolen. There's no like undo button on crypto transfers. So if you're in one of these exchanges and all of your eggs are in one basket, FTX, Sam Baker fraud, if one of them blows out, all your crypto is gone, essentially. So I personally highly recommend, if you're going to play in this game, you spread your risk around several places, not several accounts at one place, several places. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, is there a place you can go and trade all the world stocks? It's called Interactive Brokers, pretty much. If it's available for you, Interactive Brokers is going to let you do it. Major John. Dun, 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 dun. If you're able to access a world market, there are some regulations. If you live in the U.S., you're not allowed to trade certain stock markets. If you didn't know that, welcome to the conversation. Anyway, so there's Bitcoin for you. Ethereum still doing something more sinister, potentially. Not holding a bullish pattern at all. This looks like we may get continuation lower. Right down here at the minimum. Dun, dun, dun. Dollar. Right here. Let's see what we got cooking. Coming back strong. Retest of the roadmap line area. Didn't quite make it all the way down there. So this was a sub-pattern correction, which typically we see. Tried to break higher. Got the little retrace. Breaking above the 618. Kind of confirms we're probably coming right up here to the target zone. It was a cautionary retrace, but now looks like we're probably going to pop it right up there. I mean, it depends on what your goals are, Jason. Depends on what your goals are. I have money at Coinbase. I have money at crypto.com. I have money at NiceX. I like NiceX pretty good. I don't trade there a lot, but I have a lot. I probably have the most money at NiceX. 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 I use, for general trading, I just use my crypto enabled Tasty Trade account. It was Tasty Works. I was like, Tasty Works? No, Tasty Trade. They've kind of unified on the Tasty Trade name. For just getting in and out, I use Tasty Trade quite a bit. I used to like Webull a lot, but they broke it out into a separate app, and that was stupid. And I was like, forget that noise. And Robinhood, they make it about as stupid simple as possible. You just click the crypto button on there and get in, get out. Now they don't support a lot of coins, but there you go. There's some potential options. I like crypto.com. A big advantage there is the fact that you can get there, you can open the DeFi wallet. Like it's when you go to crypto.com, you look at the potential apps in the app store or whatever. There's like the crypto.com app and the DeFi app. If you get the DeFi app, when you're in the app, it ties them together. You can just click the button and you put it in DeFi, and then you're off exchange, like instantly, without like this is probably the easiest off exchange there is. And you may be like, well, how do I get that wallet? Well, guess what? You take that, they give you a 12-word phrase for your wallet if you didn't know. You take that and go through it in MetaMask, and you have access to that wallet, that DeFi wallet, right there in MetaMask. So that's super, super easy, incredibly easy. I mean, if you don't know what MetaMask or any of those things, getting beyond you, sorry. ASML, and somebody might argue with me that that's a dumb way to do it, but I think it's pretty dang easy. ASML, yeah, Coinbase DeFi, like, so on the crypto.com thing, it's literally you can like long press on your crypto and like hit the transfer button, and it's like, do you want to put it in your DeFi wallet? And you're like, yes, and then it does it, and it's like you pay the little fee or whatever to do it. You have to pay the fees on crypto transfers, and it's really easy. ASML just churning, probably going to do a retrace at some point. This could be enough correction to pop again, but it doesn't. It's not what gets me interested. Now, Netflix consolidating here. I really wanted to see this retrace to the roadmap line back here after this last pop. I did trade that last pop. Traded it, got out. And you can see it hasn't really been doing a lot since then either. Just kind of drifting higher. It may drift higher right up into the prior all-time high. This one also not making new highs, unlike a lot of the market, or a lot of the Magnificent Seven stuff. This is essentially a laggard. Amazon is another one that's been a laggard, coming up pretty strongly, trying to get to that point where it's going to make a new all-time high. It's been a laggard, and I do expect a pretty vicious retrace on this at some point in here. Doesn't have to do it, but I kind of expect it's going to. Meta, another one that's been, this one did get a retrace in here, continuing higher. We're kind of keeping on this path. We may chug right up into this, we may pop it on earnings. So watch out for a pop and potential drop. That is a major resistance right up there. It's a major extension target. Could we keep ripping on through? We could. But remember, this company is like billions of dollars. Let's see if I still got the I think I closed Infinity market cap. Right here. You go down here, you roll down through here. Meta is a $1.3 trillion company. Yeah, saw blades. So, law of big numbers. At some point, the big numbers are harder to make even bigger numbers. And Bitcoin dropping below silver a little bit. Keeps churning, keeps bouncing back and forth. Google dropping down, Amazon popping up. If Nvidia becomes the biggest in the land, they're gonna have to rock it on higher now. Microsoft back above 3.1 trillion. That means Nvidia is gonna have to break 1250, have to go even higher to be the biggest company in the land. Give Microsoft a run for their money. Now, here's I've seen this speculated a little bit. Like, suppose all these companies all of a sudden figured out they over-ordered GPUs. They're not going to buy GPUs for a while. Like, that starts being the story everywhere. Right? They were so rare, we made giant orders, and then we started getting them, and then now we don't need them as much. Things are slowing down in AI. What happens to NVIDIA? Be careful out there, all right? Be careful, be careful. I think it's a risky Risky situation. All right. You and me, we're probably not buying $12,000 GPUs or 15,000 or 20,000 or 30,000, whatever the new ones are. Those brand new ones they announced, you get 10 of them for like $1 billion or something like that. Craziness. So Meta was one of the largest companies that was buying NVIDIA GPUs. So what if they announced they found something else, or they're doing their own initiative, or whatever it is? And it could be a crazy, unexpected move for a lot of people. And we're almost down to the Adobe target on the downside. Found a little support there and then jumped on down. That's the next level right there. S-wave extension out to 343. It is medical specialty. Be careful. The DXYZ has like only a couple of candles here. I have no idea what this even is. An investment trust. I don't have enough data to do anything with that at all. It doesn't have the dinosaurs, so I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what this is. Relist or what it is. Closed-end management company. Yeah, no idea. That looks like a horrible chart. Looks like a SPAC. Sit still, sit still, sit still. Heartbeat. Watch out. That can go lower. Spotify. Ramping on up. Breakout, baby. Breaking out. Next target up. These highs up here. Looking for it to rally on up to that zone. Probably do it in a volatile way. Probably get one of these pullbacks along the way. Grin. What I see, just look at this. See that high? That high? And we're right there at this high. We're going to have to get above this one to confirm this is a real thing. And we may pop up and retrace and before we can get out of here. This is a low price thing, so not high probability for me. WDC breaking above the trend. But we've done it before. This is a watch out. Like if we pop up, we retrace. If we hold and turn higher, that's a bullishness. If we break back below, we're probably coming down, back down here. And this is one of those, you got to zoom out a lot. Kind of doing this wedge, watermelon seed squeeze situation. Not awesome. If you line this with that high, it could rally on up in here and still be in a downtrend. And where's the thing? You know, I don't know. That's definitely cautionary for me. I'm not looking to get into that one. Like, don't cross the street when you see traffic. FAAS, nothing. One candle, garbage. GBX, Greenbrier is choppy sideways. Still a choppy sideways. Not going anywhere. Snow. Still looking for the drop. One of these days. This will be a sweet play if we can get this and turn higher again. Long term. AMD still working on the decline. Yesterday, marching on down. Support here. I had some people telling me there was no way AMD was going lower. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that decline. 150. We'll see if we hold that area. If not, coming on down to the 80s. It's a huge decline. NVIDIA can do that too. Just throwing that out there. And I don't really care, Joseph. Don't really even care. MSTR. Just churning. Starting to form a head and shoulders here. That's a little scary. Oh, what the fudge was that? What the heck was that? That move, that move, that move. It's not really proportional, but they don't have to be. If that played out. Oh, right back to the roadmap line. Look at that. That's a big cautionary tale. If you're long that baby, please, for the love of your account, be careful. Now, could this go even higher? It could. Be careful. Coin. I really want to see that retrace, but there's the resistance. Large resistance zone above us. And we got some work to do to go higher. Got to get above that to go higher. Retrace would make me feel a lot better. We've done, I mean, maybe like, we're not going to retrace. Look, I mean, popped up, retrace, pop up, retrace, pop up, retrace, pop up, retrace. I mean, I've made money on almost all these pops off the low. ENPH, I'm just going to wait for it again. I mean, I've made good money so far. I'm just going to wait. Patience and discipline. ENPH holding resistance, looking like we could go. Here's the support zone. We get below that, going down here. BitX is leverage Bitcoin. If we do a pullback, we may come down here. It's hard to chart leverage stuff. Be careful. It doesn't always follow the patterns. FLUT. Retrace to the roadmap line. This one, it doesn't matter what I've drawn before. It's pretty simple. That high, that low. We get above this gap. Right there. Thank you. 70% odds, 236. BITU. There's another leveraged Bitcoin. There you go. Another way to play. Leverage Bitcoin. Ultra. That should be a 3x. Pro shares. BITO, BITU. Play a fire. There you go. And ARCB. That's just a Bitcoin ETF. Assets under management now at 2.86 billion. TMF. Treasury is going lower. Look at that, baby. Right in the target zone. Sometimes I get lucky. That's even a leveraged thing, too. Dang. I don't know. Sometimes I get lucky. See what this one's doing. Yep. That may break down in your note. The 20-year treasury. TLT. It's interesting. This one could push a little lower. And if we start getting below here, we could push a new low on TLT. Wouldn't that be a trip? I don't think anybody's expecting that. T-bonds to take a bath. LQD, if we popped above 109, probably go to 112, 114. That's iShares investment grade bonds, corporate bonds. Companies apparently selling bonds like crazy, is what I hear. I don't really pay attention to that, but obviously supply and demand. Supply is increasing, demand, prices decline. I mean, hey. If we could bounce 109. I am actually long this already on this potential to bounce. Long back here somewhere. Yeah. All right, there you go. That's the day. Bias for the day. Kind of outlined that in the start. Looking for potential bullish move here. If we make a lower low, we're probably going lower on Monday. If we don't make a lower low, which it looks like we're not, higher, baby. All right. Have a good day up there. I'll see y'all later.